Well, would you look at that? Time for a new avatar.
Nanomachine, son!
There's your reason why, now shut up. So yesterday, Wave, yes, the same Wave that I've done 3 commentaries and a riff over already, did a commentary on mine Sir Amphrose's commentary on Jack Stevenson's top 5 greatest and worst final boss battles. So why am I doing the commentary? Is it because I hate criticism that targets myself? Is it because I hate Wave? Neither. It's because I thought the response had flaws in it and I'm here to point them out. It just so happened to be by Wave about me.
And I will list which final bosses I think are epic, and which 5 I completely made the climax disappointing.
If you were paying attention just now, you would have noticed Jack flubbing up his own lines, and rather than edit them out or re-record altogether, he just leaves them in and expects people not to notice or care. Not working.
Seriously, if you need to do multiple takes, then take the time to actually do them instead of leaving in shit like this. It does nothing but make your video look unprofessional and overall sloppy. But then again, am I really expecting professional content from, this guy? If this was an isolated issue, there wouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, hell, I make some of these mistakes myself from time to time when I edit. The issue lies in that it's not an isolated problem in this video. And if you died to Dustfire in mission mode, you'd have to redo the entire boss rush that's in front of it before you get to re-challenge Dustfire.
TP, I know that you said if it was an isolated incident it wouldn't be too much of a problem, but I take issue with this because you flubbed something up in the recording and didn't do another take, and you got on Jack's case for doing that. You're not a hypocrite for it because Jack did it more times than you did, but it just bugs me the fact that you could have easily fixed that with another take, especially since you script these commentaries, but you didn't.
In order to better answer your question about why I didn't retake that part, how about I play both segments again, only this time without any visuals.
And I will list which final bosses I think are epic, and which 5 I completely made the climax disappointing.
And if you died to Dustfire in mission mode, you'd have to redo the entire boss rush that's in front of it before you get to re-challenge Dustfire. You heard that, right? I didn't make a noticeable audio mistake like Jack. I just mixed up 2 words. These issues aren't one and the same. But even if they were, I also told Jack that one thing he could have done to fix this problem was to edit his video. What did I do with my mistake? I put in text giving out the correct information. Ergo, I edited, or at least addressed, my mistake.
Solaris, a godly deity that has the ability to rule over the sun and time. The first reason why this boss is awesome is that you get to use Supersonic, Super Shadow, and Super Silver at the exact same time, and you can switch over to any of them at any time. Second, this fight plays out amazingly.
You're saying something from Sonic 06 plays amazingly. This segment is null and void.
Why did you leave that segment in there?
Because... But then again, you might not have gotten it, so I could let it slide.
For TP's joke? Okay, the joke was funny admittedly, but...
Or maybe you knew and complained anyway. I see how it is. Number 2 best final boss segment. Armstrongception. There's only 2 things I'd like to point out. The first, this. Professional.
You know, TP, the last thing I would expect from you is to find something to bitch about that has nothing to do with the boss fight. That little "this guy is online" thing has nothing to do with the game or nothing to do with the boss fight. It's a part of the console.
You're right. Now, where did I say it wasn't?
In other words, that has nothing to do with the entry. You know what this comes off as? It comes off as you finding something to bitch about. And you know, it's not even needed. Your second point about Liquid Ocelot was stronger, so this point is completely pointless.
Well, that would be because I treated this point less as an actual point and more as a... Granted, I could have made this joke sound more like an actual joke than it did, but I digress.
From what I could find, the definition of nitpicking would be a process of finding or pointing out tiny details or errors. Now tell me, TP, does that "this guy is online" thing affect the boss fight, or the game, or comes off as a major issue?
The notification can be seen as a distraction, both to the player, who would be penalized for paying attention to it, and to the viewer, who might, instead of questioning Jack's points, would be questioning Jack's footage. Is it a major point? No, but if it was, I wouldn't have spent more than 5 seconds on it.
No, sounds like nitpicking to me. You know what's sad, TP? You got on my ass for nitpicking, and yet here you are, nitpicking about something incredibly minor.
The main differences being that you constantly nitpicked during the countdowns I did commentaries on, you constantly took small matters and made them appear larger than they actually were, you constantly did this without any attempt at humor, and you constantly were wrong.
And that's really all I gotta say.
30 seconds later.
So that's really all I gotta say. Later.
How does one have nothing left to say, then somehow continues talking for another 30 seconds? To be fair to Wave, if it was anybody else making these points, I would have called them out as well. It just happened to be Wave. And that's all I have to say.